And done.
Ooh, let's play some football.
Head butts on 3. 1, 2, 3. Head butts.
Football. Let's play some football. Yeah, they blow out on the field like TNT. Those pigskin junkies are the SEC. Get up, get on your feet. Let's rock, let's roll. Get her done, get it on. Tee it up, let's go. Got them Tigers, balls, tied hogs, gators, and dogs. Let's play some football.
Exciting SEC football from Knoxville, Tennessee. Number 3, Tennessee, and UAB is on the way.
Hey, let's play some football
On Jefferson Pilot Sports.
The 73rd season of Southeastern Conference football is underway, and for the Tennessee Volunteers and their coach Philip Fulmer, it's the opening Saturday on what could be an outstanding campaign, possibly to a national championship. And today, the third-ranked Tennessee Volunteers play host to Conference USA foe, the UAB Blazers, on our Alltel SEC Game of the Week. And hello again, everybody. I am Dave Neal. So glad you could join us for our 14th season of SEC football right here on Jefferson Pilot Sports. Before we go any farther, I got to say thanks to our boys at Brooks & Dunn for putting together a marvelous open for us. They'll be with us all season long. Those guys put a lot of time and energy into that, and it certainly came out to be a wonderful open for our telecast. And my partner who's been here has certainly seen a lot of good football, a lot of good music in his day, Dave Rowe. And Dave, let's talk about this one because this is going to be a great football game. Conference USA UAB, a team that's supposed to be near the top of that league against the third-ranked Vols, coming in with two quarterbacks here that can play. One's proven. One is a young guy who thinks he's headed for stardom.
Amen. Tennessee fans saw a great quarterback battle this year. Eric Ainge and Rick Clausen all preseason, but Ainge won out. Ainge brings a stronger arm. He throws the ball with a little more velocity. He can go deep. He stretches the field, Dave, and he has great size at 6'6". He looks over the defense. On the other side of the ball, number 4, Darrell Hackney. This guy brings size. He brings leadership, brings confidence, and I think the big question for UAB is, can they find another wide receiver? Who is he going to throw to?
Well, I tell you what, I'm anxious to see Mr. Hackney play. He's trimmed down, looking good, and they say he can throw it all over the field. But let's talk about your keys to the game, because this will not be an easy game for Tennessee. Your Toyota keys to the game.
Absolutely. First of all, for UAB, it's confidence. Head coach Watson Brown said that we have to move the football. If we're not going to move that football, we've got a lot of pressure on us. That's the 100,000-plus fans here. And for Tennessee, don't overlook UAB. Philip Fulmer told his team there's two big reasons. One of them is the quarterback, Darrell Hackney. The other one is a defensive lineman, Dave, named Larry McSwain.
There is Watson Brown, the head coach of the UAB Blazers. He has taken his program on the road and played some of the mighty giants of college football. He's won games against LSU and Mississippi State, taking on a guy he's known for quite some time in Philip Fulmer. UAB will kick it off, and Tennessee takes it out to the 20-yard line, and that is where the Vols will set up shop. A crowd of over 100,000 on hand for the opening Saturday for this 2005 season here for the Tennessee Volunteers. And to say the expectations are lofty would be an understatement. And I think even the coaches talking with them feel that this is a team that has the potential to ride this talent to an SEC championship. And there is Eric Ainge. Last year, in limited time due to a shoulder problem, completed 55% of his passes. But how about the 17 touchdowns in his debut in the orange jersey? He is 100% healthy, bigger, stronger, but his first play is to hand it off to his tailback, Gerald Riggs. The senior will lead an offensive attack that has a lot of weapons. And let's take a look at our Chevy starting lineups, beginning with that Tennessee I guess you could say, skill position spot. Dave, Darrell Riggs has garnered a lot of attention, but there are some playmakers over there.
Well, there certainly are, especially the wideouts with that speed, Dave. They have great speed downfield. We are going to look to them to play a big part of it.
Aaron Sears, certainly a proven veteran, but Rob Smith at center is a story we will elaborate on as well. The former guard moved to center, at least for this week. First pass by Ainge is caught on the far side out to the 38-yard line to Chris Hannon. That'll be a Tennessee first down. And we take a look at that Chevy starting defensive lineup for UAB. Larry McSwain, boy, the numbers he put up last year, 56 total tackles, 12 sacks.
And I think the two inside guys, Williamson and Respis, that's where the duty's going to lie today.
Mustaki Smith is the middle linebacker of a group that has had to replace 5 of their top 6 from a year ago. So we'll keep an eye on that, I guess you could say, front 7 for UAB. Handoff to Riggs on the outside. Breaks a tackle across midfield into Tennessee territory. Knocked out of bounds at the 48, and that'll be good enough for a first down. Dominique Cosper and Mustaki Smith run him out of bounds.
And when you have this speed, Dave, you can get to the outside. Look at the speed, lateral along the line. He's outrunning backers coming up there, reaching. You can't reach and bring down a running back like Gerald Riggs. You've got to wrap those arms, get inside on him.
Couple of first downs on this opening drive have pushed the ball into Tennessee territory at the 48-yard line. And this year we bring in our new 1st and 10 line. It's the 1st and 10 line presented by Nexium, the purple pill, thus the purple first down line. Here's Peyton. He bumps out of a couple of tackles. Down to the 36-yard line. They'll spot it close to the 35. Cosper finally brings him down, but there is a prime example of the playmaking skills that so many of these receivers have for Tennessee.
I asked Randy Sanders, I said, do you do something, get Eric Ainge early going, get him momentum? And this is what he's doing. Little passes out of the backfield, great running backs. C.J. Phaeton on this run, being able to move back along the line, pick up a lot of yardage. Great play selection. You've got a confident Eric Ainge starting this football game.
On 1st and 10, handoff goes to Riggs. He falls forward to the, they'll mark it inside the 30, down to at the 29.5-yard line, a gain of 6. Tripped up on the play by Tony Haynes-Dalton.
And I thought it interesting, Randy Sanders, the offensive coordinator for Tennessee, said, I said, are you going to rest Riggs? You're going to just give him a few plays? He said, he's going to be tired, sweaty, and dirty this afternoon.
He is expected to be the workhorse after splitting time with Cedric Houston a year ago. Actually took over Cedric's number this season. There's a handoff to Riggs, and he gets snapped up at the line of scrimmage. Might have even lost a half a yard. Orlandis King, the junior linebacker, 6'3", 220, steps in to make the play.
And what King does is get penetration. Look in the line of scrimmage. See, quickly comes in right there. You see him get the hands in there. Good line push. It's just kind of a steady line push, but look how quick the penetration comes in there. That's what you've got to do. You've got to get him in the backfield.
3rd down. As you look at Tennessee's 3rd down conversions, last year 53%. And the pass is dropped inside the 25. That would have been good enough for a first down. Justin Reed, the tight end, got hit right as the ball met him. And that means that Tennessee will go to the field goal unit. And James Wilhoit, who had off-season foot surgery. Not many people knew it, but he had some foot problems during the campaign last year, and his numbers were down. He only hit 10 out of 17 field goals a year ago, had some surgery, and says that he is 100%, and this one is from 46 yards out. Kick is on the way, and it is definitely long enough, so I think the surgery worked.
Yeah, that's a success. Philip Fulmer smiles.
Well, the junior from Hendersonville, Tennessee, puts the Volunteers in front 3-0. 11:56 to go in the opening quarter of the 2005 season. Back after this. Tell you what, we got here early this morning, and the orange T-shirts and Tennessee hats were out in full force, and the Vol Walk at about 9:45 this morning was just a sea of orange. It was amazing. The excitement around this campus for UT football in 2005 is amazing. Well, the freshman Britton Colquitt, part of the Colquitt kicking line, will kick off. Reggie Lindsey and Norris Drinkard back to return. And this will be Reggie Lindsey from about the 2-yard line. Explosive player out over the 25 to the 30 and tackle there. So pretty good field position for the Blazers on their opening possession. Well, let's go down to Dave Baker with our All-Tel sideline report. Buzz, glad to have you back again.
Hey, Dave, great to be here with you. And we want to just throw a shout-out, I guess, as the kids would say, to people who are watching. So many folks in the Southeastern Conference, fans of SEC football, have been affected by Hurricane Katrina. You can donate through your favorite school. Here at Tennessee today, $50,000 from concession stand sales will go to help those victims. One note on the game, Dave. Watson Brown and company won the opening toss. They elected to kick off. So you could say by them only allowing Tennessee 3 points, a win early for the Blazers.
We'll keep an eye on that, Buzz. Absolutely. Also, we'll have more as the football is loose. On the first carry by Dan Burks, he coughed it up, and the Volunteers have it at the 33-yard line. Omar Gaither came up with the recovery, and now UAB has their back against the wall.
Oh, we talk about confidence. You've got to keep that football, and it looked like it just kind of got ripped out from the backside. The ball clearly came out early. You see him reaching for it. Let's see him when he makes this cut right here. Does he have roll? Yeah, he's got it. Now look, oh, backside. That was a great rip in there.
Jason Mitchell, 35. The linebacker came from his backside and just knocked it right out. It didn't look like anything extraordinary. Maybe just a little lackadaisical.
Well, it's really interesting. When you get tackled from behind, that's the most vulnerable place for a fumble because you're all protected up in front. You see everything.
Here's Ainge going up top, looking toward the end zone. Knocked out of there at the last minute. Intended for Robert Meacham, but Carlos Hendricks, the sophomore out of Birmingham, and along with Dominique Cosper, came in to save a potential 6 points.
Boy, laying that ball up high, allowing your receiver, but what an excellent play by Hendricks to come in there, reach in there with that ball. Look at that float on Ainge. Just throws it up there, lofts it up.
Well, Hendricks, the cornerback, probably the best cover corner at UAB, missed nearly the entire season a year ago. Got hurt in the Florida State game, the second game of the season, and took a medical red shirt.
Oh, hard count. He draws them off sides. Heck of a call there by Ainge. Hard count him.
Ernest Respris, nose tackle, might have been the guilty party, jumping across. He and Sam Williamson both.
Before the snap, offsides, number 76, defense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That'll be old Ernest, the senior out of Barnesville, Georgia.
And everybody says, you're right there. You see the ball. I played that position. It's hard when that quarterback comes out and gives you that loud snap count.
Tennessee lines up in the I formation. Bridges the tailback and...
Twice, Dave. Jumped into the zone. You can't do that. But heads up play. How about Rob Smith, the center? Getting up there, seeing that penetration, snapping that ball up, and getting the free 5 yards.
Offsides, number 48, defense. 5-yard penalty, results in a first down.
Right there, Smith. Watch Smith right there. See, as soon as he sees the penetration, snap it. Ainge just got to keep his hands wide so it doesn't jam fingers. Heads up play.
Let's remember that Rob Smith is playing center today because David Ligon, Richie Gandy, a couple of guys that can play that spot are hurt. They hope to have him back by the Florida game. But Rob Smith moves over from guard, has taken over the center spot, and Coach Fulmer was telling us yesterday they really haven't missed a beat with Rob in there.
Boy, and that is tough. Center makes all the calls along the line.
Nice stutter step from Riggs. He gets it inside the 20 down to about the 16-yard line. Orlandis King and Brandon Register converge for the stop for the Blazers. A gain of 5.5, maybe 6 on the carry. Back to Rob Smith for a minute, though. The fact that he's a guy that can play anywhere on this line, basically, has done it. Most of the offensive linemen have had a chance to play because of injuries a year ago. Rob Smith probably will move back to his guard spot. Ligon, Gandy may move into that center spot and give them their best 5 up front. A couple of broken tackles inside the 10. Goes Gerald Riggs once again.
Boy, good blocks up front. Just driving off the ball, especially Foster, number 78, driving off that ball. And again, Rob Smith. Watch him here. Get into him, lock into him, turn him to the outside. Oh, you can't do it any better than that. Make him go all the way around the horn. Now you're just looking downfield. Big play, big block.
Rob Smith played all 5 positions in one game last year.
Boy, they just pounded him here, Tennessee.
Handoff left side. Here's Riggs trying to get the corner. UAB read it quite well. Stops Riggs right up at the 5-yard line. A gain of about 3 on the play. Register led the charge along with David Miller. Already 43 yards for Gerald Riggs. Boy, did Riggs come on strong late in the year. I mean, the game he had against Auburn in the SEC championship was outstanding, but you could see it evolve game by game as the season unfolded last year.
Well, when's the last time you saw somebody share and get 1,100 yards rushing? That was amazing, sharing last year. The running spot with Cedric Houston.
2 1,000-yard rushers in that backfield. Here's Riggs. Stopped at the 4-yard line. Ernest Respis leads the defensive unit for the Blazers. Here are some numbers inside that red zone. You see what Tennessee did a year ago. They finished 4th in the league. They scored 83% of the time. And that's a look at the red zone, powered by Honda generators for the ultimate tailgating experience.
Well, there is no bigger down than right here, Dave. This is huge. 3rd down goal for UAB. If they want any confidence, they've got to stop them.
3 receivers to the top, 1 to the near side. Ainge will loft it to the near side. Touchdown, Tennessee. Chris Hannon in the corner of the end zone. Kevin Sanders on the coverage. And it looked as though Hannon just got a toe inbound.
The one official looked at the other one. Watch to the right of your screen. Watch the foot come down. All right, there's the catch. Foot's down. Good call. Good control. Good call. Again, look at this great concentration. The foot is down there. He's got control of the ball. The one official looked back to the other one. He said it was touchdown. They both agreed.
Will Hoyt's point after is up and good, and that is a reviewable play, but it was a good call from the field, so no dilemma there. Philip Fulmer and company lead it 10-0 in the first quarter. We'll be back after a word from your local stations. It is 10-0 Tennessee with a short 30-yard drive. Scores the touchdown as Tennessee will kick it off for the 2nd time today. Rick Colquitt will have the honors. And Drinkard will take it at about the 17 and quickly popped right there. And UAB will try to mount some attack. Darrell Hackney, their quarterback, has only been on the field for 1 play, but we'll go back to the hit.
Oh, that was a stick.
That last drive by Tennessee covers 6 plays, 33 yards, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and that means another $500 to the SEC's education initiative, courtesy of Safe Auto Insurance Company. Call 1-800-SAFE-AUTO, and you too can be a successful driver. From the 25, here's Hackney. Little play action. Throws back over the middle. Pass is caught at the 36-yard line. That'll be good enough for a UAB first down. Well, let's take a look at the Chevy starting lineups offensively. Dave, let's face it, it's going to be a tough task for this UAB offense to replace the numbers Roddy White put up, but Reggie Lindsey's a guy they're counting on.
Absolutely. I think the big thing is Dan Burks. He has got to do well today. We know about Patusik, the center. He's strong, 25th consecutive start. But the inside guys, those 2 left and right guards, they have got to have a big game today.
It's an experienced offensive line, and they will be tested. Here's the handoff that goes to Burke, and he might have lost a yard as Jason Allen, the All-American, comes from his cornerback position to make the stop. Take a look at our Chevy defensive lineups. Well, I tell you what, this front 4 is good. There's really like 7 of them that can get in there, but we focus on Harrelson, Harrell, Mahalona, and Hall.
Yeah, Mahalona, he's the one. Big in there, 6'2", slides along the line. Then you go to the backers, and you got Kevin Simon. But Gaither on the outside gets that great range, and in the secondary, you just talked about Jason Allen. He is everything you want in a quarterback. I look at him and I think of Lester Hayes.
An All-American at safety moves back to his comfort zone.
Yeah, right.
At quarterback.
Good call.
Yeah. Well, if he wasn't comfortable with 123 tackles last year,
I know.
I'd hate to get him comfortable.
I know. I was thinking to myself, 123 tackles? Gosh. Well, I'll tell you, he is a fun guy to talk to. I really enjoyed my time with him yesterday.
A referee today, Mark Curls, with an announcement.
Before the snap, delay of game, defense, disconcerting signals, causing the offense to false start. That's a 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Hey, that's an interesting call. What they're doing is they're saying the defensive signals are interrupting the flow of the offense. It's kind of like the old defensive lineman saying, "Hut." I was clearing my throat.
John Chavis is clearing his throat right now.
Yes, he is. Look at John.
The defensive coordinator at Tennessee, not too pleased with that decision. Hard to say if it's displeasure with his guys or with the call.
Have you ever seen a coach reload more than John Chavis? I mean, every year he has got these guys. Philip Fulmer brings in tremendous athletes.
So it will be second down and relatively short for UAB, but it just got longer. On a little reverse, Norris Drinker got met behind the line of scrimmage and loses a couple of yards. Mitchell makes the stop for the Vols. 57 tackles for Jason, the senior at Abbeville, Louisiana. 5.5 tackles for loss. He moved to the middle last year for Kevin Simon when Simon went down early in the year, but Mitchell, by trade, an outside backer, so he's back into his comfortable
position too. But right now, Tennessee is controlling the line of scrimmage. UAB has got to do plays that are quick hitting plays. They just can't take those delay plays.
And movement. I'll tell you what, Kevin Simon, playing that middle linebacker spot, Dave, came up with a quick jump to the line of scrimmage and forced the right tackle, Julius Wilson, to backpedal.
Exactly. Well, what happens is definite passing down.
Number 78, offense. 5-yard penalty, third down.
But definite, almost a sure passing thing, and that big offensive tackle sitting out there, and he sees that flash, and he's trying to get back in to get set up. And you got somebody like Simon you're looking at, you know he's got speed.
And strength.
Oh, gosh. Have you ever seen a more built player? I want to tell you something. I didn't even take off my jacket yesterday when I saw him. Wow, what a football player.
So Hackney and company need a big first down here in the opening quarter. Third down and 11. Hackney sets up a little screen to Burks. Burks across midfield, and he may have gotten the first down before he stepped out of bounds. He got to about the 47, and that will be good enough for a Blazer first down. A gain of about 12 on the play.
Boy, and a good block by a couple of wideouts. Lance Rhodes got a great block on Stewart. Watch the wide receiver out here. Look at that good block up the top there. He just kind of ties him up, allows Burks to get to the outside. Again, good call, screen pass, slip out. It developed well. Look at the number of linemen out there. And you see those wide receivers? Boy, that's what you want to see. Blocks downfield.
Reggie Lindsey also in the mix out there blocking for his running back. You see Burks. Burks last year averaged 73 yards a game. We'll hand off to Burke off left tackle, and he'll get a couple on the play near midfield.
And Dave, for Philip Fulmer, it's got to be happiness. His defensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage. If you're on the other side of the field, what you need to do is maybe spread them a little bit, try to get those quick seams. Don't use those long developing counter plays. Just hit them quick. Just bang, zip right up there. Hope you hit the hole and make a slice through for 5 to 7 yards.
Watson Brown. He makes all the offensive calls for this club. Pat Sullivan, of course, is offensive coordinator. The two work hand in hand and very much in sync. Two excellent football minds for the Blazers. Second and long. Here's Burks off the right side. Flag down as the stiff arm came out. Antoine Stewart finally runs Burks out of bounds, but an interesting spot for a flag.
Boy, it was. I wondered if Burks, I thought Burks gave a hand into the face mask or something, but I didn't actually see what happened, but it was along the line and it really wasn't inside.
Holding, number 9, offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Carl Duncan, the guilty party.
Well, maybe we can see it. Look for number 9. Oh, there it is right there. That's the hold downfield. And that's he's holding Rashawn Phillips, the number 36, the corner. Oh, look at right there.
Excellent
Gosh,
call.
That's
Good
a
call
good
by
call.
our crew.
Yes, sir.
UAB last year finished 5th in the Conference USA. Averaged about 51 yards per game in penalty yards. That's 6.5 penalties per game. Here's Burks off the left side. It is just going to be tough to run. I don't care who you are. It is going to be tough to run against this UT defense. Turk McBride made the initial stop along with Jason Mitchell for Tennessee. Dave, but that front seven, I mean, I don't know what else you can say. They're just big, strong, athletic, and have that sense for the football.
Well, they don't get cut down. You don't see any Tennessee players on the ground. They've got great upper body strength. They use that to fight off the blocks. They move to the ball so well. If you want to play for Tennessee up front, you got to be able to be nimble, get across the ball, have strength and speed to move.
3rd down and 14. Hackney out of the shotgun. Has some time. Bullet throw to Reggie Lindsey to the 45, but he backpedaled and is a couple of yards shy of the first down. Rashawn Fellows and Jonathan Hefney converge for the stop.
Dave, you got to know where that first down marker is. This is a good pass, good drive off. If he just turns around, if he just turns right now, just put that head down and get that first down yardage. The first down marker was only about 2 yards ahead of him. Oh, brother.
Lindsey, the senior out of Pensacola, Florida. And you see our Nexium first down line there in purple, about the 43-yard line. The UAB will be forced to punt. Parker Mullins, the junior out of Starkville, Mississippi, averaged a little over 40 yards a kick last year. Back to return it is Jonathan Hefney. He lets it go, and it will bounce into the end zone, and Tennessee will bring it out to the 20-yard line. 3:56 to go here in the first quarter, in Tennessee with a early fumble recovery scores the only touchdown to this point. They lead it by 10. We will come back as the Vols get set to go back on offense one more time. Rick Clausen comes in to take the snaps for Tennessee. We expected both quarterbacks to see action, and we have done so. His first play swings it to the near side. Corey Anderson, the huge fullback for Tennessee, gets it out to the 30-yard line. That'll be a gain of, I'll give him a gain of 10 on the play. And you see the numbers from Rick Clausen, nearly 60% completion mark a year ago, just shy of 1,000 yards, and really saved the season. When Ainge and Schaefer went down, Rick Clausen steps in as a third-teamer and was as confident as any third-team quarterback you'll ever see.
What he did for Tennessee football last year will be heard for a long time.
And it's not a bad scenario having both Clausen and Ainge available. Both guys with game experience now, and Clausen the senior. Hands off. Off guard to Gerald Riggs. Tripped up by Sam Kendrick.
And Dave, we talked about that battle between Eric Ainge and Rick Clausen in the preseason. They decided to go with Ainge. But let me tell you something. Clausen was right there. He's a very calm quarterback in the huddle. He's got control all the time. He doesn't force the ball into trouble. And there's a lot of people who think he may have been the better of the two. But they decided to go with Ainge because of that range, that length downfield, and that stretch in the field.
Well, out of the I formation, Tennessee on 1st and 10. Here's the handoff to Riggs. He's out of the 40 to the 41-yard line. And already Riggs with 9 carries in the game. And over 50 yards to this point, 54 yards.
And Dave, watch this little stutter step. He puts it on there right there, that little stutter step. Look how he runs by people. He makes them miss. You can't hand tackle him. That's Kevin Sanders, 22, coming up trying to arm tackle him. And already UAB has 4 missed tackles. If you're going to bring down number 21, you better wrap him up.
Look at our Aaron scoreboard. South Carolina Thursday night with a win over Central Florida. Vandy also on Thursday night holds on the road to beat Wake Forest. To the outside, C.J. Phaeton makes a couple of guys move across midfield. That will be a first down. Blake Prime from his linebacker position finally able to bring down the senior out of Virginia Beach.
Boy, Dave, this is great play selection by Tennessee. Going to the sure passes. You can always go back to Riggs. You can pick up that 5 to 7 yards. You're talking about just controlling the football. Randy Sanders, the offensive coordinator, couldn't be more happy with this offense.
You can see what they're trying to do sometimes with these passes to the outside, and that is just get it to the receivers as quickly as possible and let them make a play.
Exactly. Make this defense miss.
So out of the eye, Riggs your tailback.
Look at Clausen, saw that blitz.
Guard.
There's another quick hitter to the outside. That one goes to Robert Meacham. Ernest Respert hustles out from his nose tackle position to make the stop.
Well, Clausen saw the blitz, and right away just two-step drop, bang, throw it out there. His receiver drives him off, and they pick up positive yards. Heads up play by Rick Clausen to see the blitz, make the call quickly. That's leadership. Meacham, good catch.
Meacham was the only receiver for Tennessee last year, and it came in the last game of the season to have a 100-yard game receiving. Handoff goes to Anderson. He only needed about a yard for the first down.
I don't know if he got that yard.
Well, if it was a battle of strength, I think I would give the nod to Anderson, a guy that bench presses up over 420 pounds. He squats over 600 pounds. He's 6'3", 275. I mean, he is a monster.
Now, I want to tell you, we talk about the evolution of college football players' size. 275 and you're playing running back? That means that when I played in the NFL, I could have played running back. Gosh,
you know, he's got great hands, Dave. He had 17 catches last year out of that backfield. Didn't get it, so it's 3rd and short. This time they hand it off to Riggs, and he definitely has the first down. Brandon Register from his safety spot meets him, but not before the Vols pick up the first down. Gain of 4.5 for Riggs.
And I think this year you'll be able to count the times that Gerald Riggs gets driven back on one hand. Look at that leg strength. When he gets hit in the hole, he's getting stuck there, but he keeps those legs going, falls and twists, and picks up a couple extra yards after he's hit.
Riggs already with 11 carries, 62 yards, 5.5 per carry as the first quarter ends. So Gerald Riggs is the featured tailback, and they have featured him, to say the least. One quarter is in the books at Neyland Stadium. Over 100,000 have witnessed the Vols take a 10-0 lead. Back to Knoxville after this. Tennessee leading UAB 10-0. The 3rd-ranked Volunteers. LSU ranked in the top 5 at number 5. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be an interesting season in the Southeastern Conference. I am so excited the football season is underway. Finally here. Clausen. The far side, pass dropped by Jason Swain, the junior out of Huntsville, Alabama. Gatorade first quarter stats, and look at the rushing yards. It's just a matter of total plays, really. 9 plays for UAB, 20 plays for Tennessee in that first quarter. But Dave, Watson Brown wanted to shorten the game, keep it moving. Other than the fumble, he was able to accomplish that.
Yeah, especially, Dave, on that one drive. 5 minutes and 3 seconds. I know they didn't score, but they took over 5 minutes off the clock. They've got to be able to do that.
They need their defense to step up here and keep Tennessee out of the end zone. 2nd down and 10 as Clausen checks off the line of scrimmage. Out of the eye. Handoff goes to Riggs. Stutter steps. Nearly broke a tackle of the stocky Smith, the middle linebacker, but Smith held on and brought him down after a gain of 4.5 yards.
There's another example of Riggs gets hit in the hole. You see Smith come up on him, stick him really good. He twists and turns and picks up those 3 extra yards. I'm serious. When he loses yardage, you're going to be able to count those plays on one hand for the year. He just does not lose yardage.
This UAB linebacking crew lost 5 of their top 6 linebackers from last season. A total of 228 tackles, 22 tackles for losses, and 6 sacks. Those are some big numbers to improve upon. 4 receivers set out of the shotgun. Here's the near side. Swain makes the catch at the 30 and stood up right on the spot by a group of Blazers led by Kevin Sanders, the freshman out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Well, that was great coming down the line also by 98, McElwain. What he does is he comes down the line, he turn it back in, and see the big man come down inside there. Good turn inside by Sanders. He turns the play in, but lets his defensive lineman run down and make the tackle.
Glad you mentioned 98, Jermaine McElwain. Out of Lakeside High School in Atlanta, Georgia. And you know there are players that come out of that school.
Well, who else came out of there? You did.
Lakeside Viking. There's a 47-yard attempt from Wilhoit. He's already made a 46-yarder today, and this one sails wide left. Wilhoit certainly has the leg. He has a couple of 51-yarders in his career. He hit a big one against Florida. They're all big, over 50 yards. But, of course, when they're against Florida and Georgia, that makes him a little bit more. But there's McElveen with a good play defensively to cause a field goal attempt by Tennessee. The junior out of Atlanta, GA. So UAB will take over from the 30-yard line. A good defensive stand by the Blazers. The first and 10 line presented by Nexium. It's the purple pill. We have our purple line. First and 10 line sets up just beyond the 40-yard line. And Corey White now in at tailback as the Blazers line up in an I formation and a quick flag.
Defensive players are told to go on movement. I saw all the Tennessee players react. Did UAB draw them off sides with movement on that offensive line?
Of course, it is the opening game, so you expect some, I guess, a few more flags than normally would occur. But talking to Watson Brown and actually Philip Fulmer, talking about these are two guys that would love to play, if it, at worst case scenario, a spring game against another opponent, but would love some kind of preseason game during the fall as well.
Snap, false start, number 70, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And Dave, to your point, I'm very much in favor of that. There's no other sport that doesn't have like a preseason, a scrimmage or something. Even if you did it as a controlled scrimmage, a spring game, so to speak, that wasn't against yourself. I think it would really help these young players because there's nothing like game speed. You can practice all you want out there, but there's nothing like getting hit.
First down at 15 for the Blazers. Hackney under center. Single setback is White. Hackney will throw, lofts it up, nearly picked off. The intended receiver was Carl Duncan, but Jason Allen, the senior from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, comes up with another big play. We have seen it time and time again from Allen.
He is marvelous. Look at the position he plays. I went through yesterday and I watched that little video that Buzz Baker did with him, and it was incredible. He said, I turn my hips when he gets within arm distance. He just reminds me a lot of Lester Hayes that I played with. And Lester was a great one. That's how you play corner, like that young man. Strong, committed, and plays technique.
This secondary was torched quite a bit last year. Allen's moved the corner, may shore that up a little bit. Here's the handoff from Corey White, who nearly had a chance to make a big play, but guess who stepped up and made the play?
Boy, if Jason Allen doesn't make this tackle, forget it. Look at this from the outside. There's nobody else out there. He makes that tackle, dives in there. Good block along the line there. Rogers got a good block to spring him out, but Jason Allen had 123 tackles. he's added.
He was involved. He was involved last year. You know, he turned down a chance for some big money in the National Football League and came back and said, I'll move out to the quarterback position if that makes our secondary better. Blazers 1 out of 2 and third down conversions. Out of the shotgun is Hackney, the senior.
Oh, a lot of time.
Has time. He can run. Gets tripped up at the 33-yard line. And guess who? This has been a highlight reel for number 18 in orange.
He plays his coverage. Jason Allen does. Drops back. His coverage leaves him. He's in a zone coverage and the left ear screen, fans. And all of a sudden he sees the quarterback scramble. Now come up and look at that closing speed. That young man doesn't miss tackles. You're not going to jump over him. He's got his eyes open.
Here comes Parker Mullins on the punt for the Blazers. Fourth down and 7. Chris Hannon back to return this kick for the Volunteers, who were not very successful in the punt return department a year ago.
Oh, great kick.
But an excellent job by Mullins, the junior out of Starkville. Gets a nice roll, and it rolls inside the 10-yard line down to the 9. A 58-yard kick. 11:35 to go in the second quarter. Back after this. Our All-Tell SEC Game of the Week from Knoxville. Dave Neal, Dave Rowe, Dave Baker in our retired JP Sports crew. Glad you're on hand as Tennessee leads at 10-0, but backed up inside their own 10. Eric Ainge back in at quarterback, and Gerald Riggs is swarmed immediately inside the 5-yard line. Ernest Respis and Orlandis King led the charge. A loss of about 4 on the play.
Watch the penetration right there. That's the penetration that turns him back. That's Ernest Respis, number 76. Look at the big man going through there. He turns him back inside. Wow, that is a huge defensive play. You don't get many of them. I played that spot.
You look at 6'5", 300 pounds. The senior out of Barnesville, Georgia, with a big-time play for the Blazers. 2nd and 14. Ainge fires. Pass dropped on the outside by Brett Smith. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and long. Pressure came from Marcus Mark. It might have forced a little high throw, but still very catchable ball.
Well, if you ever talked about a changing point right there, Phil Fulmer knows this. This is the position. You're backed up. 3rd down. You're on about your own 5-yard line. You don't even care if you get a 1st down, but you want to pick up positive yardage. If you're on the other side of the field, you're saying, hey, hold them. We'll get great field position with a punt return. This could turn this game back around.
Well, do you take it 3rd and 13? What do you do? I mean, are you willing to throw it downfield here?
Well, if I've got Rick Clausen, if I've got him back there, I know he's confident. I know he won't force the ball in trouble.
Well, Eric Ainge lofts it up in the air, and there you go. Down the field, pass is rolled complete at the 31, and UAB coaches say he was out of bounds. But here's a look.
Now let's see if we see this again. Down to the ground there. Now watch, he has to get one leg down. Now watch this, control. Oh, you know what? That is a close call. That is close.
Well, they have until the next official snap to make a decision on whether to stop play and further review the past possession.
I think he did have the foot down, though. Certainly looked like it to me.
Here's Ainge. Nice play fake. Buys a lot of time. Throws across his body and it floats on. And is it picked off? It is. What a play from Brandon Register. He hung in there with the play and came up with a huge interception. The junior out of Seminole, Georgia.
And a lot of times they talk about Eric Ainge's arm. He floats the ball on this play. Watch the ball just float. He overflows. He's open, wide open. The ball just gets away from him. He just laid that thing out. And what an outstanding interception. Now, can you capitalize on it if you're UAB? This is your big opportunity, Dave. Just floated. That was just a terrible mistake. And who's he standing talking to? Clausen. Saying, what I do wrong.
Here's Hackney out of the shotgun. Good play action. Pressure comes. Hackney with a bullet to the 40-yard line, actually the 41-yard line, to John Cook, the senior out of Birmingham. Pressure came from Justin Harrell, but boy, did we get a look at the arm strength on Darrell Hackney. And there is Robert Meacham, who made the great catch on the sideline moments ago, left the game hobbling, and the trainers and medical staff getting a look on him. We'll certainly get Dave Buzz Baker over there as soon as we can and get you an update on Mr. Meacham.
Well, this is a big series. I want to see Hackney throw the ball. I want to see him stop running, throw the football.
There you go. Off the fingertips, down around the 10-yard line of Lance Rhodes, another senior wideout. Antoine Stewart on the coverage for Tennessee, but that was close to being another big play for UAB. A flag in the backfield and right in the area of a late hit. We'll see what that is all about, but that would be a huge break for the Blazers.
Oh, would it ever?
Roughing the passer, number 98, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Harris Harrelson from his end position.
Now watch this ball. The ball is off right there. Oh, yeah, you can't do that. They just kind of, that was like a little shove. Right, just a little, hello. Nope, that's roughing. That's a foolish play. John Chavis won't like that in the defensive meeting. It gives UAB good field position, Dave.
Absolutely, down at the 26-yard line. 10:08 to go in the quarter. Corey White back in at tailback for the Blazers. Inside handoff goes to White, trying to get to the outside, but Tennessee all over it. Jason Allen with another play from his corner position. They might want to find another side of the field.
Yeah.
Look for 18 and go the other way.
Boy, I'll tell you, there are players like that, and Jason Allen is one of them at cornerback that you just don't want to try to attack because you're going to end up on the short end. But I want to see Hackney come back here. He's got good direction, just good velocity with that ball. He's the leader. Put the game in his hands. That's your leader. What a year he had last year hurt.
Hackney needs just over 700 yards to set the school record for passing yards. He ranked 14th last year in NCAA passing efficiency. Over the middle, right through the hands of Lance Rhodes.
Boy, beautiful pass though. Good spiral, tight, all arm strength. You know, we talk about the strength of the lineman. Look at the strength of Hackney. You see those arms he has? Woo, man.
In terms of the all-time career passing leaders at UAB, John Whitcomb, his numbers right now 74-20 in jeopardy as the season unfolds. Hackney last year 3,070 yards, and these are the numbers that really stick out. 26 TDs and only 8 interceptions. Off to the near side. Goes to Norris Drinkard, and the Tennessee speed defensively stops him shy of the first down.
And Dave, you hit the nail on the head. Tennessee speed. When that play developed, he was outside. He was going, and Tennessee speed to recover was just incredible. Carl coming up on there, just moving to the football, getting there in a hurry. Now, you got to get some points out of this. You got to come away with a score.
Well, Parker Mullins will do the place kicking as well as the punting. He had a 58-yard punt moments ago, but Mullins last year has not attempted a field goal in his UAB career. He will try from 38. Kick is up, and it is good. So UAB is on the board. Parker Mullins, the junior out of Starkville, Mississippi, with his first collegiate field goal, has put the Blazers on the board. We will return after word from your local stations. Auburn and Mississippi State. Of course, Auburn with a pretty tough test today is Georgia Tech.
Yeah, they don't start off easy.
Heads over to the Plains. Swayze Waters will kick off for UAB after what has now been changed to an official 37-yard field goal by Parker Mullins.
Boy, you look at the texture of this game, Dave, and Tennessee has dominated the game. Scores 10-7. I mean 10-3, I should say. They're down 7 points. Man, that's scary if you're Philip Fulmer.
Short kick that will settle down at the 15-yard line. And Corus Johnson takes it out over the 30-yard line to the 32-yard line.
Johnson on the return.
And Tennessee will take over there offensively. By the way, Robert Beecham with a ankle sprain. Still a little tender, but probable that we could see him before the day is out. But with the depth that they have at receiver, you look at some of these Hannon, Swain, Phaeton, Meacham, the youngster Lucas Taylor. I mean, they got guys that can catch the football. You know, you forget about Josh Briscoe, another freshman who's been impressive, or Brett Smith, a junior. Handoff off the right side, not much happening. I tell you, Tennessee came out with a little bit of spunk, but they have definitely flattened out on the emotion level.
Well, a turnover like that is huge, and when you take advantage of it and get points off it, I can tell you it lifts your team, both offensively and defensively. For Philip Fulmer, they need to drive the length of the field. They've got to put it together a 50, 60-yard drive, 7, 8 minutes, come away with a score, and take control back in this football game. This is just a game that Watson Brown said he wanted. Clock control, keep it tight.
4 receiver set as Eric Ainge operates out of the shotgun, and they may have drawn UAB offsides again. Ainge fires, looking far side, and once again Register playing center field. Nearly had an opportunity for an interception, but Jermaine McElveen might have popped off sides. He's pointing the other way, saying Tennessee's tackle Aaron Sears popped up.
Offside, number
98, defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Jermaine.
Now you look for offensive movement right there. You don't see any. Here's the penetration. That's in the line of scrimmage. Snap the ball. Now it's a free play. And you got to give Ainge a little bit of credit right there. It's free play. You can throw it wherever you want if it gets intercepted.
You know, you say free play, but you're not so sure that maybe that Sears didn't.
One of your offensive linemen. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, let's not get carried away.
Well, that's a good call. Good correction. All right, I stand corrected a little.
Although it would be a dead ball if it was Sears popping up. Jason Swain makes the catch. Hendricks from his cornerback position as he gets it out over the first down. The purple line for a Tennessee first down. You see what Swain did last year. Pretty good numbers.
Yeah.
This group never had the real breakout star, but I think that they all complemented each other very well, and they all bring a little something different to the table. But today they have dropped their fair share of passes, and it hasn't been one culprit. C.J. Phaeton drops that particular pass.
Well, you have to blame that one on the quarterback. You're not driving through. You're not when you throw the ball over to somebody over his head that wide open, you're not driving through. And I'm wondering if Ainge is just a little bit rusty in that game speed, so to speak. He's got all the talent in the world. Gosh, is he tall? I looked at him standing. I mean, I look eye to eye, and I'm big. He's at least 6'6", 6'7".
He is a big, strong quarterback. As I told him, I said, I almost didn't recognize you from a year ago. I hadn't seen him all summer, and he has really put on some muscle. Handoff goes to Riggs to the 45-yard line. Orlando's king with the tackle, a gain of a couple, and Tennessee's offense is a little sluggish right now.
Yeah, I get the feeling that they've changed their offensive philosophy a little bit. Again, this is going nowhere. Riggs to the outside, nowhere to cut. Good line play there along the line for UAB. They play the line well, turn the play back in. And all of a sudden you get the feeling that Tennessee's kind of bogged down a little bit.
Give some credit to the Blazers defensively. Wayne Bolt, the defensive coordinator, to this point has put together a pretty good plan.
Now, can you get pressure on him?
Ainge out of the shotgun on third down. Here comes some pressure. Ainge lofts it up, overthrows again. That is the third time he has run to his left and thrown across his body and overthrown the receiver. The pressure came from David Miller that forced the pocket to collapse, and Ainge had to get out of there.
Yeah, you're going to see Ainge wibble out in here to get outside. And look at that. Run it to your left, your right. When you can't get those shoulders squared up, you have a tendency to just float that ball. Ainge has got great arm strength. You see Wayne Bolt, the defensive coordinator there. He's got to be happy. Hey, they got another stop. They're going to get the football back. One thing about Coach Bolt, you can pick him out.
Yes. Britton Colquitt back to punt. Reggie Lindsey will return. He stands at about the 16-yard line. High kick, fair catch called for by Lindsey. And he will take it at about the 15-yard line, and that's where UAB will set up with 6:13 to go here in the second quarter. It is only a 7-point game, and it's relatively quiet in Knoxville. Allen, Buzz.
Dave, an incredible player. 123 tackles last year. That's the highest total for a non-linebacker for Tennessee since they started keeping records in 1970. He's been all over the field today. He not only wanted to come back here and help his NFL stock, but it could help Philip Fulmer's team. Fulmer says that this secondary more physical than they've ever been. I know from firsthand experience, if he had hit Rob Reichley, our producer, like he hit me, JP'd be dealing with a claim from workers' comp.
Handoff goes to Dan Burks, first down. Buzz, did I miss something?
Well, I mean, when we did the deal earlier in the year and we were coming down and running patterns and everything, he immediately saw that I had a little quick first step. So then he had to get physical the way Rowe used to do on the defensive line. And let me tell you, he's solid. He's going to be a great corner in the NFL.
Hey, Dave, I saw Buzz with that piece, and Jason Allen just kind of jammed him, and it just kind of just popped him. And Buzz goes, "What's that? What's that?" Said, "You allowed to do that?"
Oh, I'm just glad I wasn't there. I'd probably be still in intensive care. Burks and White both in the backfield. Handoff goes to White. Not much happening on that play.
Now you might ask, what in the world are they doing over there on UAB's side? Running the football? They need a score, 4:55, but they're trying to control that clock. They run the ball, take time off. They don't want to give Tennessee more opportunities. Watson Brown and his staff would be happy to go in with this score.
He said, just keep it close, give us a chance in the fourth quarter. That's really what he wants. And right now, things have kind of gone his way. You take out that fumble by Dan Burks on their opening drive, the first play of their opening drive at the 30-yard line, and who knows what the story would be. Here's Hackett, steps in the pocket, fires, pass caught by Norris Drinkard across midfield into Tennessee territory. Kevin Simon finally drags him down, but a big first down as the clock stops at 4:19 to go in the second quarter.
Two things to credit: the offensive line giving him time. Look at him standing back there. Pro-type quarterback, and he delivers a strike. Over coverage, underneath the deep coverage, comes down with the ball. He's stepping up to be one of those wide receivers, and that's what I would want to see. If I'm the UAB, I'm going to put the game in Darrell Hackney's. I'm going to put it in his hands. He's going to win it or lose it.
Drinkard, the leading returning receiver for the Blazers, with a big 23-yard catch. And UAB will take their first timeout of the game with 4:09 to play before the break.
Let's play some football.
Well, be sure to check your local stores for the much-anticipated new album from our friends Brooks and Dunn called Hillbilly Deluxe. Country music's most successful duo's latest album was released 5 days ago, and it's one of the hottest-selling records already this year. Ronnie Dunn and Kix Brooks have 22 #1 singles, and Play Something Country off their new album looks to make it #3, sitting right there at that #2 spot. And it is amazing what those guys have been able to accomplish in country music. It's their 9th studio album. And how about this? They've been four times they've been Entertainers of the Year, a couple of Grammys, and their Deuces Wild tour is going. I'm waiting for my invite.
Well, I've been practicing. Woo-hoo-hoo. How's that?
I just think it's wonderful. Those guys were able to participate in putting together a little song for us, a little version of Play Something Country. They've redid the lyrics and Play Something Football for us, and we're involved in our open. We'll be here all season long. You'll see it every time we come on the air. It's awesome. Look, everybody's getting the cowboy hat fever again.
Yeah, but they didn't have the black one that you had on, buddy.
Oh, great stuff by those guys. Speaking of country music, looking for Kenny Chesney. Where are you, Kenny Chesney? Come see me. Here's Hackney. He just makes an unbelievable play, avoided a 10-yard loss. The pressure came from Jason Mitchell.
And I want to tell you, that pressure would take down any quarterback. Watch this. He sees him right in his face. Jason Mitchell, 35, and he throws the ball. That's how strong he is. Look at this. Almost pushes him off, delivers a strike, picks up a couple of yards, maybe a yard, makes a positive play out of one that was going to lose.
Yeah, Hampton, the tight end, steps up and got himself an opportunity to catch the football, and he did so. Look at Hackney, 8 out of 10, 85 yards. Not huge numbers, but very efficient. For play action, comes to the near side. Looks like Drinkard will take it inside the 45, and that'll be about 4 yards shy of the first down. And you look at Kevin Simon, the senior, who's battled his way back from some injuries. I'm sure that he didn't think this would be 10-3 right now with UAB driving before halftime.
I'm one of the 104, 5, 6,000 that are sitting here saying, you got to be kidding me. This is Tennessee football. But UAB has done what they wanted to do, keep it close in this first half.
Well, this is a big third down for the Blazers. They're 1 out of 4 today on third down conversions. A 4-receiver set. Hackney to throw. Pass is low and dropped at the 36, which would have been good enough for a first down by Lance Rhodes. But, Dave, what do? You go for it? I mean, you're 3.5, 4 yards away.
No, you can punt. You put them deep. I don't go for it. If they go for it, I'm going to be shocked. You don't want to give Tennessee a short field. You only got 2:39 left in the first half. Punt them back, get it deep on them.
And that's what they will do. They'll bring out the punt team as you look at our Aaron scoreboard. And Parker Mullins will have the honor standing at about the 41-yard line. Back deep is Jonathan Hefney. A booming spiral.
Oh, catch it. Oh, wow.
And that sails into the end zone, so Tennessee will bring it out to the 20-yard line with 2.5 minutes to go before the break. But UAB did something that they've wanted to do, and that was they ate up more of the clock.
Absolutely.
Kept their defense off the field. They would like some points, but certainly keeping it close as we head to break is an advantage, I think, for a Watson Brown club.
Sure, absolutely. Remember that one drive over 5 minutes, Dave? They didn't score, but that ate up the clock.
Well, vote for the toughest play of the week and a chance to win a brand new Polaris ATV in the Polaris Tough Play of the Week contest. Visit PolarisToughPlays.com and watch clips of this week's toughest plays. Vote for your favorite and enter to win. Well, Rick Clausen steps back in at quarterback out of the shotgun formation. First pass is caught on the far side by C.J. Phaeton. That'll be just shy of a first down, but Clausen in there, probably the veteran, and probably after coaches go back practicing and realize that Clausen probably more effective in the 2-minute offense, if you will.
Boy, there's a telltale. Look at that. The first 2 drives, 82 yards, 10 points. Everything's going right. The last 3 drives, look at that. An interception, a missed field goal.
Second and short, Tennessee lines up in the I. David Yancey with that tailback. Clausen checking off. Yancey breaks a couple of tackles. Still on his feet, out over the 30 to the 32, and picked up the first down. Nearly lost 4, but gains 4. Marcus Smart, the junior out of Mobile, finally brings him down.
Boy, and what broken tackles. This will kill you. If you're UAB, you can't allow broken tackles. If you're Tennessee, you want to break tackles. He breaks a tackle, picks up the first down, keeps the clock going, keeps the momentum going. Now, can Clausen get him down at least into field goal range?
Here's Rick. Swings it to the far side. To his fullback, Corey Anderson. Marcus Smart makes another tackle. That'll be shy of the first down, but he gets out of bounds to stop the clock at 2:02. And bring up a 2nd down and 5.
Now here's where you think about Ainge. You see him standing there. He's got that strong arm. He can go downfield. You've got Clausen in there who's a pick-apart-em, maybe in that 16, 18-yard range.
Pick apart him?
Yeah, pick him apart. pick him apart. Pick apart, whatever it is. Thanks, buddy.
I just wanted to clarify that. Out of the shotgun. Pass is caught near side. Brett Smith. He's over the 40. But he will be about a yard or 2 shy of the first down. Brandon Register and Clarence Respis, the brother of Ernest Respis, makes the stop. Clock moves. 139, 138.
3rd and 1.
And quick whistles. Tennessee wanted to get the play off in a hurry, obviously, but a timeout taken by the Vols.
Tennessee.
Before that play was snapped. First timeout of the half for the Vols. We will return after these messages from UAB and the University of Tennessee. 10-3, Tennessee out in front. 92 seconds to go before intermission as you look at Neyland Stadium packed. There are a few, if any, empty seats in this particular building this afternoon on the opening Saturday for the Volunteers and the Blazers. On 3rd and short, handoff goes to Yancey, the junior, and he will pick up the first down at the 45-yard line. That'll stop the clock momentarily.
There you go.
Stocky Smith made the tackle, but Yancey getting some work after Riggs had 11 carries in the first quarter alone for 54 yards, but has 15 for 67 yards overall to this point. Pass caught by Yancey. Yancey lowers his head down to the 45, inside the 45 to the 44. That'll be a first down.
And Dave, heads-up play by David Yancey, number 43. Comes out of the backfield, slides out. He's the dump off. Look at nobody near him. Now, he keeps that sideline in view because he knows if he gets out of there, he'll be able to stop the clock. Don't have to use a timeout. Heads-up play. Get as much as you can. Get out of bounds. Stop the clock.
Here's Clausen again. Lofts it up. Pass is dropped by the fullback, Corey Anderson.
Pass intended for Corey Anderson. Looking up. Incomplete.
Now, 1:04 is a long time if you're a Rick Clausen. You can dink him down there, move that football down. If you get a shot for the end zone, take it. But he's a control quarterback. He's not going to kill you with that long pass, but he's a smart quarterback.
I got to think that Philip Fulmer might address some of these drop balls today by Tennessee's receivers and running backs. There have been quite a few. Here comes some pressure from the outside. Tennessee picks it up. Clausen wide open over the middle. And Payton drops another pass. I just said it. I just said it.
You were prophetic on that one. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, it's contagious.
You talk about wide open. Had to be a broken coverage. I want you to watch the middle of your screen here, fans. Look at this. Nobody around him. Again, nobody even clear. Look how there's not even a shirt around him. Oh, and Rick Clausen goes, oh, brother.
So does
Philip Fulmer. Yeah.
Third down and 10. 4 receivers set for the Vols. Inside UAB territory. Clausen fires. Passes caught over the middle by Jason Swain inside the 20 to the 15 and run out of bounds there by Carlos Hendricks. That is a big play Tennessee has been looking for, and they will pick up 33 on the play.
Crossing pattern here. Just come right across. He breaks coverage right there. Now, he's running underneath the coverage. They're trying not to get beat deep. And he eats up yards coming downfield. And what about it? What play calling? Rick Clausen in there. He's a backup today. You know he had to be disappointed by not being the starter. He's getting an opportunity to shine, and this is a perfect example of what he can do for you.
The ball sits on the 13. Clausen looking, firing. Bobbled and caught by C.J. Payton from 13 yards out. The man who just dropped the pass moments ago redeems himself with the touchdown.
And not an easy catch. That was a great catch by Payton coming across the middle. Look at Clausen. He's looking off here to the right and then comes across. Look at that catch. Get the ball back into you. Get the hands underneath it. Look at this. Extend. Good control. Wow, what a drive. If Tennessee needed anything, they needed that drive.
Wilhoit's point after is up and good. It's amazing what one big play will do. The 33-yarder from Clausen to Swain sets up the touchdown pass from 13 yards from Clausen to C.J. Payton. And Randy Sanders, the offensive coordinator, has to be happy with that because it looked like that drive was going to stall in a hurry.
Well, we talked about the comparison of Clausen and Ainge, and that just shows you Clausen doesn't make mistakes. He picks them apart. He's not going to kill you deep. He doesn't have that rifle arm where he's going to drill it 60 yards, but he doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't force the ball into trouble.
Clausen 9 out of 12 for 90 yards. Eric Ainge 5 out of 11 with an interception and 57 yards. Buzz, what do you have for us?
Dave, you know, as you talk about Rick Clausen, it came down, I guess the decision came down to the physical ability to stretch the field of Eric Ainge and the cerebral ability of Rick Clausen as a quarterback. He can't throw it downfield like Ainge does. He doesn't have the arm strength. But in many ways, because Ainge is still a young player, he's got a better understanding of the offense. And in critical situations, time situations, I think you just saw it right there.
Yeah, there was no question that Clausen proved that it'll be hard to rattle him. The situation he walked into a year ago is enough to rattle most, but not him. Wilhoit to kick off for Tennessee. a couple of yards deep in the end zone. Norris Drinkard will bring it out. Drinkard to the 20, to the 25, and stop there. So with 38 seconds to go before the break, UAB with one more possession. That was a nice 80-yard drive by Tennessee. Faced some third downs, third and longs, third and shorts, and converted when they needed to.
Now, what do you do if you're UAB? 38 seconds. You don't want to throw it into trouble where you get that interception. But when you've got a Hackney sitting back there, can you go long? Can you find one of those Drinkard on the outside, somebody to go deep? You want to go in on a positive note. Me, I throw for it.
Here's Lindsey. Comes back across to the middle of the field to the 31-yard line. Devin Simon brings him down. Gain of about 6 on the play.
And Dave, that's exactly what Hackney's doing. Hurry up, get on the ball. He wants to try and get a score in here.
Well, there are 2 timeouts left for UAB. I think if they can move it a little further down the field, they might use that timeout. Drinkard might have picked up the first down. He's on that. They will give him the first down as he crosses our purple line. That could be the end of the half. 2 seconds left, and as soon as they spot it and move the chains, the clock will stop, and I think both clubs might just. UAB takes a timeout.
Yeah.
Timeout, please.
You see Watson Brown, and it's tough when you look at trying to move the ball down the field in a hurry. It's got to be tough knowing that you've got a quarterback like Darrell Hackney, but you don't have a receiver like Roddy White, a #1 draft pick last year. After an unbelievable season with the Blazers, he put up some of the most impressive numbers of anybody in America last season. 71 receptions, 14 touchdowns, and teams were early in the year didn't double cover him. They got burned. Then when they did double cover him, they still got burned, and it's hard to replace those numbers. You look at that, 35% of total receptions, 53% of the touchdown catches, and how about this one? 47% of the team's total receiving yards, almost half by one guy.
He was his favorite receiver.
Yeah.
Gosh. Well, that's what I was talking about. When who steps up? Will Drinkard be the one that steps up? And can they get Lindsey to step up? They need somebody to step up in that same role. That's hard to do. I mean, you say we need a receiver to step up, but those kind of receivers don't come along all the time.
Darrell Hackney, though, is a quarterback that certainly has all the tools. If one of those guys can just be a playmaker, it could be a good season for the Blazers in Conference USA. Little shovel pass to Corey White. And that will be the last play of the first half. Jason Mitchell will get credit for that stop. But the Blazers hung tough, but a late touchdown by Tennessee makes it a 14-point game. It's 17-3 as the third-ranked Tennessee Volunteers open up the 2005 campaign in front of 105,000 here at Neyland Stadium. And let's go check in with Dave Baker. Buzz.
Philip, fast start, couple of missed opportunities in the middle, but a great finish to the half.
Well, yeah, it was a fast start for us. Then we let the punt hit the ground and turned it over and gave them a chance to get back in it. But they're a good football team, and we're playing hard. And I love what Rick did there in the last minute. That was a great drive for us.
Defense has been awfully consistent, as you knew it would be.
Defense is, we got a chance on defense not to give up a bunch of points during the season. Obviously, we want to finish this up the second half.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it. That's Philip Fulmer as he heads to the locker room. His Tennessee Vols lead UAB 17-3. We're back to Knoxville right after this.
107,259 on hand to watch Tennessee lead by 2 touchdowns after one half of football. Dave Baker caught up with Watson Brown.
Coach, you elected to go ahead and kick. You survived the one big bad play and got this into perspective, except for that big drive at the end of the half.
Well, if we make that one first down right before the end of the half where we had to punt, and then they took it 80 yards on us, and we're not making critical plays. We're hanging in there with them, but we're not making big third down plays to either get the ball back or keep a drive going.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it. They've got a chance to make those big third down plays, Dave. UAB deferred to open the game. They'll get the ball to start the second half.
Thank you very much, Buzz. Beautiful afternoon of SEC football here in Knoxville, but not so beautiful along the coast, the Gulf Coast here in the South. And obviously with the hurricane efforts going on, the SEC doing their part. All 12 institutions have combined to donate $1 million through the Southeastern Conference. And then beyond that, the schools have also come up with numerous ways. For instance, University of Florida taking their revenue from pay-per-view and donating it to the hurricane relief efforts as well. All the schools in the Southeastern Conference doing their part. They were actually taking donations before the game here at Knoxville and will do so after the game. They've also donated $50,000 in concession sales. So a tough time in the Southeastern Conference because so many of our fans are in the region that was certainly devastated by Hurricane Katrina. And we certainly wished the best to everybody involved in that. And if you want to help, American Red Cross is a great way to do it. You can make donations at redcross.org, or you can call 1-800-HELP-NOW. That's 1-800-435-7669, or through the Salvation Army. A lot of people involved, and we certainly wish everybody well.
Well, I've got a lot of ties down there. Of course, I played my first 4 years in New Orleans and was the Saints, and a lot of friends in that past Christian, Bay, St. Louis, over to Gulfport, Biloxi area, and a lot of friends in New Orleans, so a lot of emotions.
Tennessee will kick off, and Reggie Lindsey will take it a yard deep in the end zone. And Lindsey is met at the 18 and driven down to the ground on a big hit by Jared Hostetter. And UAB will take over inside their own 20. Our 1st and 10 line is presented by Nexium. The purple pill.
A purple line. I like it. I think it's one of the great additions to our package this year. You can see exactly where they have to go.
Correct myself. That was Marvin Mitchell on that special teams hit. 17-3 Tennessee to start the second half. Couple of broken tackles by Corey White. Hard driving run out near the 30-yard line to the 28. Jonathan Hefney from the safety position will bring him down. A flag is down, however, at the 26-yard line.
Boy, if that negates a good play by UAB, they're going to be upset because they need momentum to start this second half.
UAB penalized 6 times in the opening half. A couple of those were in crucial situations.
After the play,
dead ball.
Personal foul, number 98, defense.
Ouch.
15-yard penalty.
Wow.
Hey, Paris Harrelson had a late hit on the quarterback earlier, and now has another 15-yarder. Philip Fulmer having a discussion.
Yeah. Well, you can't take those. You can't take those type of penalties because look where the field ball is already. You've just gotten the ball inside the 20 on the kick, and now it's almost out the midfield. This is a huge drive for UAB. This is that confidence momentum. They've got to come away with a good drive, control the clock, get points.
Well, Corey White, the junior out of Bessemer, Alabama, is your tailback. He'll get the handoff. Not much happening in the heart of that UT defensive line. Justin Harrell, Jesse Mahalona make the stops. Boy, Jesse got off to a great start last year for Tennessee defensively up front. Didn't have the tackles, the numbers that we were used to late in the year. Probably just worn down. College transfer, having to be, with all the injuries defensively, having to take a big load upon his shoulders. But coaches say that he has really had a good preseason camp and expect big things from the All-SEC tackle.
Well, he's a load. 297, 6'2", compact, slides the line, doesn't get knocked down.
Hackney out of the shotgun. Gets hit as he lets the ball go, and that pressure came from Xavier Mitchell.
Boy, Hackney barely saw this backside. He's looking over here to his right. Backside pressure. And when he turns around right there, he sees him. You see that quick flip. Got to let go of him.
Yeah, Jason Hall and Mitchell both coming in. Good thing he got rid of that football when he did. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10.
3rd and 10.
Out of the shotgun. 4 receiver set. Hackney steps up. Throws. has Rhodes, who gets to midfield and stopped right there. I tell you, I don't know that Hackney would have been able to pick up 10 yards, but he certainly had some running room.
Well, I thought that when he stepped up in that line, when you split those defensive linemen, there is a huge hole in the middle, and I thought Hackney was going to bring the ball down and take off with it.
And UAB, after a penalty, took the ball out near the midfield territory, will now have to punt the ball away. Parker Mullins will come back out and have those honors. He's averaging 49 yards on 3 kicks so far. Jonathan Hefney will step back and return the punt. He stands at the 10. Another high hanging kick. And Hefney is leveled right on the spot, but he gets up, holds onto the football at the 10-yard line. A 39-yard kick. 12:45 to go in the third quarter. Back after this. Tennessee by 14. Dave, let's go back to that punt return. 2 things here. Hefney, where's the fair catch? And watch the hit by Will Evans.
Boy, hold on to that ball. I'm going to tell you, if I can hear him coming down on me like that, I'm going to put my hand up.
Evans
had to catch the ball there.
A little slow to get up, but worked his way off the field. Here's the fullback Anderson, the big 275-pounder. Takes the pass from Rick Clausen, who gets the start in the second half for Tennessee. That'll be a first down.
Good play selection. Roll out, get out of trouble, look downfield, had that run option, drop the ball off to his big fullback. Nice selection.
Gain of 18.
Yeah.
And Davey, I'm not surprised, certainly from my layman's point of view, to see Rick Clausen the way he completed the first half, and just basically how the offense ran a little bit more efficiently with him at quarterback than Eric Ainge.
Well, I don't think it's the end of Eric Ainge. Don't get me wrong, and I know you mean that also. But Clausen on that last drive, that was huge before the half, and he deserves to come out and start the second half. They were in a close battle all year long. It was all preseason. I mean, it wasn't a done deal early.
Here is Eric Ainge. We will see him plenty here in the second half. And talking to him yesterday, just a very confident young man. You know, Randy Sanders, the offensive coordinator, says at practice that he just everyday practice makes those throws that make him go, wow.
Yeah. Well, he throws the ball. He's got that velocity, Dave. And when you've got that velocity, you can throw it in where a lot of other quarterbacks get in trouble.
Here's Clausen. Nice throw to the outside. Couple of broken tackles. Here's Chris Hannon. Out near midfield, stopped just shy at the 49-yard line by Dominique Cosper, the safety out of Anniston, Alabama.
And Dave, this is a great example of that velocity. Look how quick the ball gets. The defensive corner's coming up on it. Hannah's got the ball so early, he's able to turn and come up. Cosper's just coming, he's coming late to the play because the ball gets there so quick.
Cosper led the team with 102 tackles last year for the Blazers.
There's an audible on the line.
Out of the I formation. Tailback is Riggs, and he'll get the handoff. Riggs to the 45 of UAB.
Well, I want to tell you, when you go tackle Gerald Riggs, you see him put that shoulder down at that last second. I mean, he comes up, and he stuck Cosper that time. In other words, you better be prepared to tackle when you come up and hit that young man.
His coach, Trooper Taylor, the running backs coach, has a sign in his meeting room that just says Blaze 9. And what that means is when all the running backs come into his room in his office for meetings, it's an indication that Coach Taylor has a son named Blaze who's 9 years old, and it reminds the players that this offensive line is so good that his 9-year-old son could run through some of these holes. Pass is caught at the 36-yard line.
Again, good play selection, not the way downfield that a lot of Tennessee fans are used to, that bomb going 30, 40, 50 yards. But good play selection by Randy Sanders, the offensive coordinator. Good execution by Rick Clausen.
Let's check in with Dave Baker. Buzz, what do you got?
Check it out, Dave. It's a little check me at the line. They'll do a hut, except on that play. Go ahead now.
Here's Riggs down.
I didn't hear that.
On cue.
Go ahead, Buzz. Go ahead.
What they're doing is they're running this series called Check Me at the Line, where Rick Clausen will get up to the line. They'll do 1 or 2 height counts. and then they'll back out behind the center, and they'll look over to Randy Sanders, actually backup quarterback Jim Bob Cooter, who's signaling into plays. So Sanders has seen what the defense is and then calling the play based on formation.
Well, this drive has been very effective. It started at the Tennessee 10, Buzz, and now they're down to the UAB 31-yard line. Arian Foster, the freshman, in at running back. And a loss of maybe a yard on that play.
And that play that Buzz is talking about, that hut on the line, check with me. You've got to have a lot of time. You've got to really be able, time conscious, to walk up there and look at the clock and make sure you've got enough time to get it off. But it's an excellent play because you don't know if they're going to come up and go hut, snap it and go. So you've got to be in the defense that you've called. Gives you a good opportunity to look at it.
So Tennessee, somewhat of a hurry-up set here. 3rd down now. A big play for the Vols on 3rd and 5.
There's the hut that he was talking about. Here's the check on the line. You see the signal to the wideouts. Comes to play.
Clausen to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Pass is dropped over the middle at the 25. A little behind his intended receiver. So that'll bring up a 4th down. Chris Brown, the tight end, was the intended man. Orlandis King on that coverage. And it's 4th down, and it looks like Coach Fulmer might go for it here on 4th down at about 5.5, maybe 6 yards.
Well, and this is a tough call. You don't want to lose the momentum. You don't want to lose not getting points out of this. See if he doesn't come out with a hard count. Looks to the side. There's the call. See the signal.
Clausen to throw. Pressure comes. Shovel pass. Nearly works. It'll fall harmlessly to the ground, but Clausen nearly pulled off a miracle play and a good defensive stand for that man's club. Wayne Bolt's defensive unit wins that battle with 9:01 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Big pressure from the outside. Smith comes all the way to the outside, but heck of a play by Clausen to get the ball off. Smith coming on that round to the left side there. He gets pressure. Look at Clausen flipping that ball underhand there. That was going to David Holbert, number 30. And Wayne Bolt's excited about his defense. He's saying, hey, that's what we need to do.
Wayne Bolt has spent some time around the SEC. Coach, assistant coach, tight end coach, I believe, for Pat Dye back in the early 80s over at Auburn. A couple of stops with the Tigers. Here's Hackney. Pass is batted around and then picked up by one of his offensive linemen.
Now, who did touch first?
Julius Wilson, the right tackle, the junior out of Bradenton, Florida, comes up and shows the good hands.
Watch the right side of your screen right here. Oh, there it's batted back. Oh, there he is. Yes, number 78. The big man putting it down. Watch this. Clearly touched by the defender right there. And look at the big man coming to get it. That was Omar Gaither, 44, who gets the touch. The big man, he's got an average now.
1 catch, 5 yards. He'll always be in the no matter how long they play football at UAB, he'll be in the official stat sheet. Big hit, but a good catch at the 45-yard line. And UAB keeps it moving. Chico Cleveland, the H-back, hit by Jason Allen, but he holds on to the football.
That H-back is a multiple back in the backfield. He slides out. He comes across the line here. And look at this strike. Just perfect pass. I like when Darrell Hackney does that little rollout. I told you he reminded me a little bit of Dante Culpepper. That's a big hit there by Jason Allen on the tail end of that play.
Well, Hackney looks a lot different physically than a year ago. He's lost about 30, 35 pounds. He's gotten a bit stronger, a little better on his feet. That handoff goes to Corey White, gets a couple on the play.
I thought that was an interesting question you asked Pat Sullivan, Dave, when you said, what did you ask him to do when he came back? And he said, lose weight. And I thought that was really interesting because, I mean, you throw for over 3,000 yards. Right. There's not much you're going to ask somebody to do.
The senior out of Atlanta, Georgia, went to Douglas High School. As an injured Vol heads off to the sidelines.
Is that Mitchell?
Jason Mitchell, the senior linebacker, who has 5 tackles today, forced to fumble.
Well, Dave, this is a team. Tennessee suffered so many injuries last year. Bob Kessling told me they had 23 players operating. Who is the voice of the Vols, Bob Kessling. He said they had 23 operations last year.
Since the end of last season.
Oh, okay.
I mean, those are the number of guys who needed surgery just to get prepared to play again. Here's Hackney, lofts it up, too high for Lindsey, and it falls out of bounds. But I mean, is that not amazing?
Yeah, that is absolutely. Oh man, you know what? I want to tell you something. If Hackney did one thing wrong here, he misses the wide open guy. Watch him come out. He's got a lot of time. Look right there. Why throw to him? He throws out here, but he had Lindsey coming across. Oh, man. Daryl Hackney looked to the middle. He had him wide open on a crossing pattern.
UAB facing 3rd and 10. They are 1 out of 6 today in that department. They have not been able to crack that Tennessee defense on 3rd downs today. And this is a big one. 7:16 to go in the 3rd quarter. Flags come down. Maybe a false start by UAB.
Yeah, I think somebody jumped on the UAB's offensive line.
I think that pretty much sums it up.
Before the snap, false start.
Yep.
Number 61, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Well, this fall, watch for the Geico College Football Campus Tour, a season-long traveling exhibit celebrating the 10 greatest quarterbacks of all time. Go to jpsports.com for more information and to find out when Geico will be visiting a college campus near you. The 10 greatest college. I don't know how you're going to narrow that down.
I know. I was thinking the same
Good
thing.
Gracious.
You got one of them standing down on UAB's sideline, Pat Sullivan.
Hackney over the middle, batted in the air. Flags are down. Pass was intended for Norris Drinkard. Coverage by Kevin Simon. And once again, just for those of you who say, well, let's look at it again, that is not a reviewable play. That is a judgment call by our officiating crew.
Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Well, if it's not interference, it's awfully close coverage. Right side of your screen right here. I think that's interference. He had the hand up in the middle of his chest as he was running the pattern there. You see the hand up there. He was interfering with him. Yeah, I believe that's interference. Bobby Gaston, the head of the...
They can't review that, but we certainly can.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Well, here are non-reviewable plays, and one of those is pass interference. You see those personal fouls and blocks and formations as well, and false starts. Basically just what you would think would be non-reviewable. Inside handoff goes to Corey White. It has been hard between the tackles for UAB today.
Yeah, they're not getting the push in the middle, but I think they need to go back again to Hackney with that arm. But I was going to mention when you were talking about the instant replay, Bobby Gaston, of course, the head of the SEC officials, was here, and he marveled at the first half. He said everything went well, looked at several plays. Every play is reviewed. He really complimented our crew on just great pictures to show the action.
And also, what I found out and what I've noticed since the replay has become how correct these officials are.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to officiate the game with instant replay. You want it to correct errors.
2nd down and 10 over the middle. Pass is caught by Rhodes. He's inside the 15, down to the 14. Demetrius Morley, the true freshman, the high school All-American out of Miami, Florida, finally brings him down. But now Daryl Hackney is taking control of this.
Well, and he finds Rhodes because he's got time to sit back there and look. And Rhodes does a great job. He's a little guy coming across the middle at 5'10", about 180. He throws a strike to him. Look at Rhodes right there, a little shifty at the tail end. Put that ball away. Good ball control. But you got to credit that offensive line of UAB. They're giving Hackney time.
Hackney now 15 out of 19 for 140 yards as UAB, every time they seem to get momentum, they shoot themselves right in the foot.
Well, Quentin Harris has had his number
called. Before the snap, false start, number 69, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Well, let's take a look at UAB inside the red zone last year. Pretty successful. Would certainly love to have more touchdowns than that, but nonetheless, a team that can put some points on the board. And that's a look at the red zone powered by Honda generators for the ultimate tailgating experience. They would love 6 as opposed to 3 right now. And UAB will think about this on a 1st and 15 and call a timeout. The Blazers are knocking on the door in a 2-touchdown game from Knoxville. Back after this.
Dave, I know 2 things I wouldn't do. I wouldn't go to Jason Allen's side. He's down to the low side here. And I'd look for that slot man in that little curl pattern right inside post pattern.
1st and 15 out of the shotgun. Play action. Hackney over the middle. Pass. In through and then out of the arms of Lance Rhodes. And he was hit by 3 or 4 orange jerseys. Looks like a pinball in there.
But he should have had it. To be honest with you, he should have had it.
Well, inside that red zone, look at that Tennessee defense last year. You see those numbers. They were pretty good inside there. Only 9 touchdowns given up and 49 red zone chances. And that's a look at the red zone powered by Honda generators for the ultimate tailgating experience. Here's Hackney on a little option. Hackney to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, down to the 3-yard line.
He never was going to pass that ball, and he wasn't going to toss it either. That was Darrell Hackney. That was him all the way. Good rollout here. He had a little toss option. He had some pressure. Hefney's the cornerback. When he puts his head down, look at the big man run. He runs a lot better than he did at 260. Now he's being about 235, 240.
Gain of 16 sets up a 1st and goal. The ball sits on the 3-yard line. Full house backfield, couple of tight ends. I don't know if that was a busted play or not, but didn't get anything.
Yeah, you don't run a play. You're exactly right. You don't run a play like that where you fake give to the fullback and then turn around and try to quarterback sneak. That's broken play. You got to give Hackney a little bit of heads up there. He didn't fumble the football.
Quick update for you. Jason Mitchell, left knee sprain, questionable for a return for the outside linebacker from Abbeville, Louisiana. 2nd and goal now. Might have lost a half a yard on that play.
I think I'd follow Corey White, the big fullback.
Hackney lofts it up in the corner. 2 Blazers were there, and neither one could catch up. Cedric Hampton perhaps had the best chance in the corner of that end zone. Marculus Elliott also on the spot, 28.
Nowhere to run. You look at this coverage. Look at the number of orange shirts in that zone coverage out there. They're all running right with everybody. They've got them all covered. No place for Hackney to throw the football except throw it long. I was surprised he didn't try a running play. You don't want a field goal here. You've got an opportunity. You want 7 points. And Tennessee knows it.
Out of the shotgun after a full house and a couple of tight ends, they spread the field. Pressure comes over the middle, picked off. Justin Harrell still on his feet to the 30, to the 35.
Darrell Hackney makes a huge mistake. But let me tell you something. Justin Harrell, number 92, gets a lineman's dream. He tries to soft touch the ball over. Right there, you see Harrell. Look at him go up. Big man, basketball player. Goes up there, one hand. Now he said, oh my goodness, I got 95 yards to run.
6'4", 305 pounds. Takes it back almost 30 yards on the return.
And he's breathing hard.
There's an indentation somewhere around the 35 from when Mr. Harrell hit the ground. Darrell Hackney made the tackle. Here's Clausen back on the field. Pass to the near side. It is caught by the tight end, Chris Brown. That'll be a gain of about 7 on the play.
Now, if you're Tennessee, you have to capitalize on that. You have just stuffed them. You've taken the heart out of UAB, and now you've got to just crush them. You've got to come back. You've got to get points on the board. Randy Sanders knows the importance of a defensive turnover. You see that chart he holds in front of him? That's his hit chart.
That handoff to Riggs gets about a yard. Jermaine McElveen and Sam Kendrick converge on that stop, but he did not pick up the first down, so it'll be 3rd and short now for Tennessee.
Now, can Tennessee just take the ball and just drive it down? I don't think they can just drive it down, run. But use smart plays. This is 3rd down and 1. Use that power back there, pick up the first down, move the chains.
2 tight end set. Tailback is Riggs. He'll play fake to Riggs. And Clausen has all day to run. He'll get the first down, hit at the 49-yard line. That'll be a first down. Gain of 4.
And Dave, that's a great example of Rick Clausen. Smart. He came out of there. He had that pass option, but he knew what that first down was. If Swain comes up, sticks him, as does Guyton come up, and they stick him on the tail end. But he knew that first down marker and picks it up. Smart quarterback.
Tennessee quick to the line of scrimmage once again out of the I formation. Riggs your tailback, couple of wide receivers.
There's that play that Buzz Baker was talking about, that hut, change at the line, check with me.
Red Smith locked in over here in single coverage, but they'll hand it off to Riggs, who falls forward for a couple of yards. Riggs, by the way, now with 20 carries, roughly 85 yards on the day. Got off to such a great start in the first quarter. Officially 86 yards. I think he had at the end of the first quarter something like 54 yards on the ground.
Yes, he did. Yeah, they have really, UAB has stepped up their play. They really have. They're playing tough football. They think they can stay with Tennessee, and that's why coaches want to take you out of the game early.
Watson Brown said that regardless of the outcome, he knows that he won't play anybody any better than Tennessee the rest of the year on the schedule. Couple of broken tackles. And that'll be a first down. I think they blew the whistle dead. They did at the 48-yard line. Ernest Respris. Was the man who tripped them up late in the play, but they blew it dead at the 48-yard line.
But with a Riggs out there, you got to wait. His momentum, look at that. I think that's just the quick whistle. He got driven back, but his legs were still moving. Randy Sanders gets his wish. Look at his jersey, all dirty. He's probably sweating under there. Needs a little water. The big man is working hard.
Marion Foster checks into the game at tailback now for Tennessee.
Big down.
On 3rd down and 6. Clausen under pressure. Nice pass, first down, Tennessee. It is tied in Chris Brown. The coaches love what Brown did through fall practice. They say he is crafty and probably the most complete of the tight ends. They don't have a Jason Witten, but they think Brown's a guy that has potential.
How did Cosper miss him from the outside? He had a straight shot at Rick Clausen. Clausen steps up in the pocket, avoids the trouble, delivers the strike for the first down.
And the tight end somewhere, Tennessee would like to go more with the football. They didn't have an opportunity to do that the last couple of years.
Exactly right. He needs to be you're right, Dave. He needs to be a much bigger part of this offense.
Clausen again. Back pedals. Buys a little time. And will run out of bounds. And
now the fans want roughing the quarterback. McElveen, he pushed him out of bounds, but he was still in bounds. He didn't tackle him or spear him. He pushes him out of bounds.
Watch McElveen, 98 on the play.
Right there. See, he just pushes him. What happens is that Clausen goes about 5 or 6 yards. Look, see, he pushes him. He's in bounds.
You know what? He was in bounds.
Yeah, absolutely. When Clausen looked up, he was underneath the bench. Said, I remember this from the start of the game. I don't want to come back here.
The crowd certainly didn't like it. Didn't look good.
No.
2nd down and 10 out of the I formation now. First down line. Sits at about the 27. Here's Foster. Dancing his way down to the 30-yard line. That'll be about 3.5 yards shy of the first down.
Boy, Corey Anderson, the fullback, gets a good block. On the outside linebacker, Blake Prime, he just drives him off the ball.
Foster out of San Diego, California. They think that they know who their go-to guy is in the backfield. It's Gerald Riggs. After that, they've got a combination that they can really use. They've got some young players that they think could be stars. They don't want to get there.
No.
And that will be the end of the third quarter of play. It's still a 2-touchdown game, but Tennessee leads it at home 17-3. It leading by 2 touchdowns as we move to the fourth quarter. All-Tell SEC game of the week. And joining us by phone right now from Baton Rouge is the head coach of the LSU Tigers in his first year, hoping to open up this weekend, Les Miles. And Coach, I know it has been absolutely brutal over there with everything going on. If you could, just kind of give us an update of where your football team is. Have you guys been able to practice? And you know, what has your team been doing in terms of any kind of help with recovery?
Well, it's a very good time for our players. Emotionally, they're trying to support the team or support the state, and there's a number of people that making requests to stay with and be around, and certainly our players are responding very, very openly to that. But we have been practicing. We've turned our attentions, during the practice time towards football and taking a deep breath and relaxing and really getting away from the drama that's being played out all around this football team. So I think my football team's doing well. I think they understand that there's not a lot that they can do except what they can do, and that might well be prepared to be a good football team.
Coach, if you could, I know there's so much up in the air still with future and what's going to happen down the road. Any word on what will happen with your next opponent with Arizona State, what the plans are there, and anything update with us on North Texas, the game that you had to kind of put on hold for a while this weekend?
Well, the North Texas is going to be rescheduled later in an open date, I think, just before we play Appalachian State. And we're preparing to play. Our football team is a little frustrated not getting to play a game. And certainly I think it might be good for our state to see the Tigers take the field in Tiger Stadium and play.
And, Coach, one final thought from you, and that is how you're trying to get your players back. They want to get back and play a little football, but I understand that there have been helicopters flying and coming and going. And, I mean, has it just been an unbelievable experience to be that close to that kind of an awful situation?
Well, it absolutely is. It's very humbling. It makes football very unimportant in the short term. And you see people that are having, physical difficulty. You see death and destruction around you. But I think there still is a desire of this football team to put everything on the back burner and prepare to play a football game. And I think that would be good for the state. I think our players are looking forward to it.
Well, Coach, I know the people of Louisiana are some of the best people in the entire world, and I know your club doing everything that they can, and you are, and Skip Burtman and the entire university. I wish you the best of luck in
whatever the future holds. So thanks for joining us very much here on our opening game.
Thank you very much. See you soon.
All right, Coach. Les Miles of LSU spending some time with us as Rick Clausen throws a pass that's batted around and finally intercepted at the 14-yard line by Kevin Sanders, the freshman out of Birmingham, Alabama. Anderson bobbled it, and finally Sanders comes running over and makes a big play. It's still a 2-touchdown game. UAB turns it over on their last drive. Tennessee gives it right back. Eric Haynes getting loose on that Tennessee sideline. I tell you, Rick Clausen did a real nice job on his drives. I mean, that last interception, not really his fault. Maybe could have been a little better pass, but batted up and down in the air. So
I think he did. I think he did everything. I think you're right, Dave. I think he did everything that Philip Fulmer knows he will do. Now, is that enough to displace Eric Ainge? I don't know.
Handoff goes to Corey White off the left side. Picks up about 6.5 on the play. Take a look at our stats through 3 quarters presented by McDonald's Quarter Pounder. And passing game 221 for Tennessee. The rushing game dominated by the Vols as well. Time of possession, Tennessee certainly has that advantage, but a 14-point game is the bottom line here. And as we look at Rick Clausen getting some cool towels on his head, I want to thank Les Miles for joining us, because I know it has just been almost nonstop over there for the last week for everybody in Baton Rouge. Flag down on the far side of the field as Trey Chaney checks in. The junior out of Birmingham gets his first carry and is stopped at the line of scrimmage. But a flag down on the far side in front of that Tennessee bench.
And you have to believe that's encroachment where somebody's in the neutral zone. That may give UAB a first down. But you're right, with Les Miles, it is really tough to focus on football when you've got so many people that are hurting 75, 80 miles away from Baton Rouge in New Orleans.
And you know, Dave, as we wait on this call.
Illegal formation. Offense.
Ooh.
6 men on the line of scrimmage. The penalties decline. 3rd down.
That'll bring up 3rd down. But, you know, an interesting discussion that's been brought up is that Tennessee's supposed to play at LSU on September 24th. And who knows what the situation will be. And I think a lot will be determined if LSU plays Arizona State this weekend or next Saturday in Baton Rouge. But still, just so many unknowns with that situation.
Yeah, everybody says we need to get back to being normal. There's never going to be normalcy in New Orleans.
Shotgun for Hackney on 3rd down and 3. Pass is caught at the 25-yard line, and that will be far enough for a first down. It's Reggie Lindsey who found a little seam in that defense. And Gerard Mayo, the freshman linebacker, makes the stop. Picked up 4, only needed 3.
Now, this is an underneath cross pattern. You see how he just kind of pops underneath that zone? Good target in there. Boom, throw that ball quickly. I like Hackney when he rolls out. I think he's much more effective. He's more effective running to the right, looking downfield, throwing with that strength.
I'd like to get Buzz. I don't know where Buzz is, but this crowd has been very quiet today. It's not been that intimidating atmosphere we so often see here at Neyland Stadium.
I haven't heard Rocky Top too much either.
Here's Hackney, little shovel pass. There's some running room for Corey White out to the 31-yard line. Jason Allen with his 7th stop. Time for our Hotel Sideline Report with Dave Baker. And Buzz, what are your thoughts about that? I mean, has there been any kind of emotion coming from the crowd today?
Anxiety. The air has been let out of the balloon, quite frankly, and Tennessee's had a couple of chances to stretch this thing back open, but they haven't been able to do it, and that's why this crowd kind of sitting on its hands right now. And interestingly enough, guys, as we get going here in just a little bit, you talked about Eric Ainge warming up on the sidelines. Got some big games for this Tennessee football team coming up down the road. It's going to be important to reinstill that young man's confidence.
Handoff goes to Trey Chaney. Not much happening on that play.
Well, I was watching Jesse Mahalona come across there. When Mahalona comes across there, he swallows you.
Look at today's attendance, over 107,529 total. I'd say that's a nice way to ring in the 2005 campaign with a full house at Neyland Stadium on what has turned out to be a gorgeous day here in the Smokies.
I'll take this weather anytime, Dave.
Great day to be a part of that Vol Navy as well. Here's Hackney. Fires. Lindsey makes a nice grab. Maybe Reggie Lindsey's the guy who's going to be the key element on that outside for the Blazers. Jonathan Wade pushes him out of bounds.
Oh, and Lindsey drives him off, top of the screen. He's going to drive him off and just curl right there. Now watch him just turn around. Look how tight that coverage is. That is good coverage by Tennessee. They're coming up on him really hard. And again, that's Wade that comes up number 4. But Lindsey, good hands, look the ball in. You got to catch it when he throws it to you.
Darrell Hackney today having a pretty good day, closing in on 200 yards through the air. Out of the shotgun, a little play action. Throws a bullet caught at midfield. That'll be another UAB first down. It's John Cook. Gerard Mayo makes a stop, a gain of 15, and man, was that a lightning throw.
Exactly. Did you see the velocity on this ball? This is a dart. and it's in between coverage. Look how quickly he's hit. Mayo just levels him. Watch right here on the tail end. Look at that. That's not bad coverage. Look right between the coverage.
That's a great throw.
Absolutely. And he's throwing against Jason Allen, number 18. I wouldn't know if I'd go on that side.
UAB moving again. Clock moves. 9:16, 9:15. Here comes pressure. Hackney slips it, throws it wide open. Pass caught by Lance Rhodes. He's inside the 40. They'll spot it at the 33-yard line. Jason Allen with the tackle, but boy, Darrell Hackney with an all-star play, a gain of 15.
Dave, not many quarterbacks stand up from a hit. Look at that hit right there. That's a defensive lineman. And just rips him off and finds his receiver downfield. Boy, strength. We talked about how big quarterbacks are. You got to be big because you're going to get hit just like that.
Well, he was playing last year at about 260, 265, but he's trimmed down as Hackney to about 235. Hackney throws. Pass is caught. Big hit at the 26-yard line. They'll mark it at the 27. Norris Drinkard makes the catch. Hefney with the hit. Gain of 5.
That's complete to Drinkard.
Well, I want to tell you right now, I don't think Tennessee's playing bad football. I think UAB is playing that well because the coverage is right there. You've got a quarterback that's drilling the ball in there, over 200 yards passing. If they can get in the end zone right here, they'll have a few minutes left. Who knows what might happen?
Out of the shotgun.
There's an audible.
5-man front for the Vols. Here comes some pressure from the outside. Hackney rolls away from it. Looking, lofts it up, throws it out of bounds.
He takes a lesson from Clausen. Play smart football out there. He comes down the line. He doesn't see anything. He just throws the football off. Pat Sullivan will like that. Watson Brown will like that. If you don't have it, don't force it. I like the way quarterbacks always stick their mouthpiece up in the top of their helmet. You see that right up there? That's his mouthpiece, fans.
Well, just trying to breathe right now. It's hot down there.
You better believe it. I look for that crossing pattern. Remember they hit Rhodes twice on it. It's been wide open. He's in the slot again at the top of your screen.
Hackney over the middle. Pass is caught to the 10, to the 5. Reggie Lindsey, touchdown UAB.
That is a pattern that Darrell Hackney has had a lot of success with. That crossing pattern underneath. He took Rhodes and he ran Rhodes to the outside out in there, and it cleared it underneath for Lindsey. And he just comes right across on a dart. You're not going to catch him from behind. And all of a sudden, those 105, 6, 7,000 fans are still quiet.
Darrell Hackney on that drive put this team on his shoulders and led them to the promised land. A 27-yard touchdown pass. And a timeout is going to have to be used by UAB. And we'll take it with them. But the Blazers hanging tough. UAB takes a timeout to get set for this point after. That could be a tricky situation, but the point after is up and good, making this a one-touchdown game, 17-10. Somebody needed to step up and replace Roddy White, who's with the Atlanta Falcons. Maybe it's Reggie Lindsey. Back to Knoxville after this. Tennessee leading 17-10. We're in the fourth quarter. 7:50 to go in the football game. And that last drive that covered 86 yards by UAB was a successful drive, which means another $500 to the SEC's education initiative, courtesy of Safe Auto Insurance Company. Call 1-800-SAFE-AUTO, and you too can be a successful driver. A new, you could sense it from the coaches, Dave, that the Tennessee coaches, that they knew this was not going to be your average everyday opener, and I think they've gotten more than they bargained for.
Absolutely.
Out to the 23-yard line goes Johnson. And a big series now for Tennessee as the purple line is brought out by the purple pill. PurplePill.com. There it goes.
Yeah.
I knew it was there somewhere.
It was there. I was waiting for you, buddy. How about this quarterback change?
Eric Ainge back in. His first appearance in the second half, and he is welcomed to the field by who else but Larry McSwain. And really the first time we've seen McSwain use his ability. Last year, McSwain was unbelievable with a dozen sacks, 18 tackles for loss.
Well, McSwain has that speed, number 44. Look at him out there. He's running with a quarterback. We haven't called his name very much. At 250 pounds, he can run. He's a force. That time when Ainge, there you see the big numbers from last year. Look at that, 13 sacks. That's incredible.
The I formation, audible by Eric Ainge.
Boy, you start thinking, what if? What if UAB can stop him here?
Ainge throws high again. He's done that all afternoon.
Well, I kept on thinking, I wondered if they were going to bring Eric Ainge because he's not been effective. He's been sitting over there, and Rick Clausen had that great drive. That interception was not his fault.
You know, and this is, I hate to even bring it up, but this is the worst case scenario in a way for Philip Fulmer and these quarterbacks.
Oh, sure. You're absolutely right.
I mean, there's still a lot of time that Eric Ainge can, I just look around here and look around at these fans,
and who would have thunk it? They're yelling for Rick Clausen.
Lofts it up in the air, picked off at the 45-yard line. A huge turnover by the Blazers. Brandon Register with his second INT of the afternoon.
And I want to tell you, Ainge never looked off his primary receiver. He looked downfield. He saw Hannon. He was going all the way. Look at him. See him looking that way? He's going all the time. And look at Register coming across. He's playing center field. He's looking at the eyes of the quarterback. Oh, man.
Dave, he's done that twice today, playing that center field, looking like Andrew Jones of the Atlanta Braves. And both times the ball lofted in the air. And I just think that Ainge just underestimated the speed and the closing speed of Brandon Register. But here it is, 1st and 10 now for the Blazers inside Tennessee territory. Hackney dropped at the 47-yard line. Jesse Mahalona, a loss of 8.
Boy, and when you need big plays, you need big players to stand up. Mahalona, number 55. He's going to come around the right side. Look at him busting through there. When he gets those big hands on you, you're going down. Big man, great penetration. Had a little twist game in the middle.
We go under 7 minutes to play in Knoxville. The third-ranked Volunteers have had a handful of trouble today.
Listen to the fans cheering for the defense.
2nd and 17. The screen. Caught by Corey White. To the 40. To the 35. Actually steps out of bounds at the 36. He will be a yard shy, maybe a half a yard shy of the first down. A gain of 16 and a half.
And what a play selection. Screen pass. You dump, everybody comes on. You dump it over. And what a play by Hackney to throw that ball in traffic. To find Corey White. There's where he steps out of bounds. The official makes a good call. I'm going to tell you something. UAB, Watson Brown, he's got his wish. He's in this football game.
That's what he said. Just give me a chance in the 4th quarter. Well, you've got your chance. 40% today on 3rd down conversions. This will be 3rd and a half a yard. White breaks it to the outside, gets more than he needed. Down to the 31-yard line. Jason Allen with his 10th, make that his 9th tackle. It has just been a great day today, and I'm glad you could join us on our SEC opener, our All-Tel SEC opener from Neyland Stadium. And the announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. Broadcast is a copyright presentation. Any use of this broadcast without the express permission of the Southeastern Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited.
Compensated? That means we get paid for this, buddy. What a seat to have. I can't think of a better place to be than right where we are.
Hackney. Pass is caught by Drinkard, who gets hammered at the 25.
Well, if you ever thought about 4-down territory, this is 4-down territory. Watch this hit right here. Drinkard comes out there, catches it. You got to wrap that ball up because let me tell you, number 18, Jason Allen, 10 tackles.
Let's check in with Dave Baker. Buzz.
Hey, Dave, you know, Watson Brown's been in this situation a lot before. 10 years UAB's been playing D1 football. They've played 26 of these big games. Next year, they open up against Mississippi State, and then they've got Oklahoma and Georgia on the schedule. So they know what it's like to be in this situation. The thing Watson Brown said they had to do was close the deal.
Carl Duncan makes the catch. That'll be a first down inside the 15, just inside the 15. Jason Allen and Gerard Mayo converge for the stop, but here are the Blazers with 5:26 to play in the game. Knock it on the Tennessee door.
Yeah, if you ever thought of 4-down territory, you're in it. Let me tell you something, there's no turning back now. Now, Tennessee's got to step up. They need a big play from one of their stars.
Hackney, flag down. Pass caught by Lindsey, trying to break a tackle. Bobbled the football. Woo! Sean Fellows kind of made Stewart bobble that football. But a flag down, it all may go back to the original line of scrimmage anyway. Or further back.
Yeah, watch this ball get ripped out here. Good concentration right now. He picks the ball. See him look at that ball, keep his eyes on it. That's Fellows, number 36.
Illegal formation. Offense. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
The 9th UAB penalty this afternoon, and that could be costly. Look at our red zone. Numbers, and you go back and you look at UAB, and not a whole lot of touchdowns inside that red zone a year ago, and they've had a couple of opportunities today, and they haven't been. Matter of fact, the last time they were down this close, they threw an interception.
Got that crossing pattern. It's been successful. He's got Rhodes in the slot.
Hackney bust out of pressure, fires, passes caught inside the 10 down to the 9-yard line. John Cook is showing us some skills today. He's made a couple of nice catches. Jason Allen was the man on the coverage for Tennessee, and that'll be shy of the first down. So first down will have to be inside the 5.
Well, that ball had some velocity on it. That thing was zinged out there. Got to start thinking. You see the purple line there. You got to get first down yardage. Get that first down. You got 4 more tries. That's what they've got to be looking at.
To Trey Chaney, loses yardage. They will spot it back at the 12-yard line.
Oh, I didn't like that play. Slower reacting play. You give Tennessee time to come on you. They crush you back. You lose yardage.
Omar Gaither and Vladimir Richard converge on that tackle. You see the red zone. Today, some of those numbers for Blazers. The one time they were in there, it was a little interception that was returned by Justin Harrell back out to the 35. And that's a look at the red zone powered by Honda generators for the ultimate tailgating experience. Hackney. It's a loose football. No whistle. Who's got it? They will rule it an incomplete pass. Our referee from the backside, Mark Curls, came in and said incomplete pass. I'm looking at the umpire, and he's letting them play on.
Well, I did hear a whistle, and what happens is watch his arm come forward on the play. Quarterback pressure, Mitchell in there, 93, pulling him down. You see the arm? Yes.
Good call.
Absolutely. Again, you see Mitchell, 93. He's got him right in there. Now look at that arm. See, he's throwing that football. You know what I think? Situation, 4th down, go for it. What do you got to lose?
UAB.
That will be their 3rd and final timeout for the Blazers. Back after this. Blazers down a touchdown. 3:41 to go in the 4th quarter. They are out of timeouts, looking at a 4th down and 7. You've got an unbelievable quarterback, Darrell Hackney. What do you do? We'll find out in moments. Hackney over the middle, through the hands of Lance Rhodes, incomplete. It might have been tipped by Demetrius Morley, the true freshman. And UAB turns it over on downs.
It's that crossing pattern, little post pattern. He throws a dart in there. Look at the coverage right there. I think he got a hand up inside there. You'll see it like Hackney sees it. Look at that ball, just right in there. Rhodes had a chance for it. It went off his hands. Wow. Difference between winning and losing is big players make big plays.
Well, Hackney made some big plays in the last couple of drives, but just couldn't get in the end zone. John Chavis's defense stood tall when they had to. But 3:37 to go. Now, UAB certainly behind the 8 ball with no timeouts left, but Tennessee has to be careful here. Backed up at the 12-yard line. And Rick Clausen back in at quarterback. And a flag down. Play clock hit 0.
Wow. Didn't want to have that happen if you're Philip Fulmer.
Before the snap, delay of game, number 16, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Take a look at our Hummer scoreboard. Top 25 games, Ohio State over Miami of Ohio. TCU in the 4th over Oklahoma by a touchdown. And Iowa over Ball State. That Hawkeye team, keep an eye on them.
Right now, I'm like all these fans. I'm keeping an eye on Rick Clausen.
Handoff to Gerald Riggs to the outside. Breaks a tackle. Stays in bounds. That's the key play. Dominic Cosper came up. 5'11", 195. Full throttle at Riggs. Goes in about 215 and just couldn't bring him down.
And I want to tell you one thing. That first stick on Riggs, he just lowered the boom on him.
Well, Riggs, heady play, though. He got down before he got knocked out of bounds.
Exactly. When these downs, they loom huge. When you don't have any timeouts, your defensive player, you're looking up that clock, and it's just tick, tick, tick. Under 3 minutes now.
There's Riggs to the 15.
Gerald Riggs carries.
Maybe got a yard. Respis and Stocky Smith converge on the tackle, but that'll bring up 3rd down with 2:34, 2:33 to go in this game. I mean, this is a big down. UAB could get another crack at this.
This is huge. If UAB can hold them, they're going to get great field position, Dave.
Our Chick-fil-A nugget of the game today. You look at the winning percentage of active coaches with 10 or more years in the business, and Philip Fulmer right on top of that list. Closely trailed by Steve Spurrier, who had a win on Thursday night.
Oh, and he's got to call a timeout. Ouch. Oh.
We will step aside with the timeout. Back after this. This is a big down on 3rd and 6. You're backed up at the 16-yard line, and no timeouts for UAB, but a stop here, and they'll get the football back.
But Tennessee's got a solid quarterback in there who doesn't make mistakes. I think UAB comes after him.
Lawson lofts it up. Wide open pass is caught by C.J. Fate, and the flag is down as he's dropped at the 31-yard line. And an injured UAB player back at the 26, Carlos Hendricks.
There's a marker on the play.
Hendricks missed most of last season with a knee injury. Got a medical red shirt, and he lays in pain again on the football field.
And Dave, the big question everybody wants to know, offense or defensive interference?
Rick Clausen points against UAB. We'll see.
Number 1, defense. The penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
That answers it. Right side of your screen, watch number 1 in there try to hold. He held, got pushed off. And how about Rick Clausen finding the open man in that situation? Not a bigger play in the game.
A gain of 53 to C.J. Fate. And Clausen has put up some pretty good numbers today. He should be closing in on 200 yards. He's got 217 yards, 17 out of 25, a touchdown and an interception.
And Dave, what a football game for me. You said that, but think about it. You're sitting there, you're a backup quarterback. You're just kind of watering down over there, waiting your opportunity. Boy, did he step up.
Next week, our SEC All-Tell SEC game of the week takes us to the plains of Auburn, Alabama. Mississippi State and Auburn come your way Saturday, 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central Time. And you can log on to jpsports.com and click on the Regions Bank Road Trip Planner for the quickest routes and all the information you need to know traveling around the SEC. And Carlos Hendricks, the sophomore out of Birmingham, Alabama, who blew out his knee against Florida State in game number 2 a year ago. We hope he's okay. Yeah. Nobody deserves to be carted off a football field, especially after the energy and effort he spent to get back on the field over the last 12 months. We wish him all the best, and hopefully that is nothing too serious.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a twist. Those coaches use things like leader, best one-on-one, that kind of adjectives to describe them.
6 minutes left in our Hummer scoreboard from Norman, and TCU has the football with a minute left, leading by a touchdown. And East Carolina leading by 3 over Duke in the opener there late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's our old friend Skip Holtz making his debut at ECU, East Carolina.
Huge play by Rick Clausen, finds C.J. Phaeton, moves the ball down to the 31-yard line. And you look at the numbers, and we told you about Clausen, 217 yards through the air. Eric Ainge, by the way, 5 out of 13, a couple of interceptions for 57 yards. Does have one touchdown pass. There's the handoff to Riggs. He breaks it to the outside. He has some running room inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line before Marcus Mark will bring him down a gain of 15 yards, and that will take Mr. Riggs over the 100-yard mark as well this afternoon.
Great change of direction. That was started on the strong side to about the 4-hole. He makes a break all the way to the outside on the left-hand side, the weak side. That's when you've got great vision. You're looking at the hole. You see it's clogged up. You make that adjustment. That's what makes Gerald Riggs great.
23 for 109. By the way, Darrell Hackney, I just looked at his numbers. 27 out of 38, 282 yards today. That's pretty good against this Tennessee defense.
Well, we knew he was great. Tennessee in that just kneel down position. They just want to stop the clock. UAB's played an outstanding ball game right here today, and what you do is you don't want to embarrass them. Fans don't like it, though.
I think they want to see some more points on the board, but Philip Fulmer wants to get out of here with a win and look ahead, because you know what's in store for the Volunteers, and it is not going to be easy.
Wow.
You got a week off, and then it's at Florida, at LSU. Look at that schedule.
Yeah, I know.
As he said, we asked him about any chance for a national championship, and with this team, he says, yeah, I think we're good enough, but with our schedule, who knows?
He said, let me let you know about middle of October.
Yeah. I'll let you know if I still think we have a chance or not. So Rick Clausen takes a knee, and that'll be good enough to close the door on this game. UAB came on the road and gave Tennessee, the third-ranked team in the country, all they could handle.
That's the end of the game.
But down the stretch, Tennessee with some big defensive stops, and they will take the 7-point victory and look to the future. Watson Brown, Philip Fulmer give each other a handshake. We'll come back, put a wrap on it after this. Gerald Riggs goes for over 100 yards. A big day for Tennessee. We will come back, have more after a word from your local stations.